As human beings, we all deserve the right to have access to certain necessities. These include food, water, housing, and a source of sustainable income. We also have the right to feelings of safety, security, personal dignity, and hope. When Cyclone Evan hit the tiny Pacific country of Samoa in December 2012, it stole many of these fundamental rights and rendered thousands homeless. Access to basic needs including water, food, shelter, and power were cut off without warning. Many people died and livelihoods were destroyed as the storm laid waste to farms, crops, and animals. Whole families were torn apart and their hopes and dreams lost. The people of Samoa had their hope, their security, and their dignity taken away from them.
Waneno se me moke sulu aide via moa se tusan ia wale kurea ngore faleanga inga mako fale.
In an effort to restore the rights of Samoans who had lost everything and to help build hope for their future, the Australia Pacific Technical College chose to address the challenges at hand on two levels. First, by rebuilding housing in the villages of the many homeless families, and second, by providing training for 15 previously unemployed individuals from these same villages. By doing so, they not only restored their dignity, but also helped the students to gain an economically sustainable future in an otherwise difficult-to-attain career pathway. 15 students were selected for the project from the devastated and remote southwest region of Upolu Island.
The amazing bit of this training program is that we get to work with the community, and this is very different to our delivery models that we have in other centers, which is workshop based, but this gives us an opportunity to work with the community, and it's very rewarding in the sense that when we do things, it's there forever, unlike our workshop training where we build houses and we demolish it. But here it's much appreciated by the community, especially for those who have lost so much during the cyclone, and there were families that had basically a shack after the cyclone. With whatever they gathered after the cyclone had passed, they put up a shelter, and that's what they were living in. And with us coming in and building shelters for them, it just put smiles on their faces, and you can see that they light up, and they know that part of the problem has been solved.
13 men and 2 women were offered APTC training in the internationally recognized Certificate 2 in Construction and Certificate 3 in Carpentry. They are doing 20 weeks on-the-job practical and theoretical training as they rebuild shelters in Upolu. This is followed by 8 weeks of work experience at a major construction firm in Apia, followed by a further 3 months of training in Fiji to gain their Australian Certificate 3 in Carpentry, the same qualification as an Australian tradesperson.
After cyclones, when we have to rebuild our house, you have to learn about carpentry. So I learned more about that. So when I get home, because I have a hand saw, so because Bali and Thai give us some tools, so I use that at home.
The theoretical and practical training is on site in the students' own villages as APTC partners with the Samoa Adventist Disaster Relief Agency. Students complete 2 days per week in theory and 3 days on the job building houses, or fale as they are known in Samoan, from the ground up.
When I first arrived in Samoa to deliver this program, when I came around and had a look at this area, there was a lot to be done. And because people didn't have maybe the financial support, or they didn't have the materials, or didn't have someone to put things together for them, so I knew there's a lot of things that needs to be done in these areas. And putting up the fales with the help of the students in their own villages, with their own communities, it has been a win-win situation for us. For me as a trainer, for my students, they got live practical work, and the community, the beneficiaries of the fales, at the end of the day they have a fale where they can shelter.
Because on that year and that day, we heard around the island, Samoa Island, that there were sound of sorrow and people, they need help. But by now, by joining this course, it's a miracle. Right? It's changing into a sound of freedom and sound of good opportunity for us. There in the village, you just stay there as a farmer and a taulelea. We think that's enough for us, and no work, unemployed. But by this one, by the event, it's turned around. It's totally turned around, upside down. It's a good future for us.
See some of the families, most of the things have been destroyed, houses, crops and everything. But while rebuilding the house, they really supportive. They gave us a lot of feedback about the program and what we're doing there, and how the project helping them rebuild their lives from where they were after the cyclones. That was really amazing, and it feels like helping them. It's really grateful.
It gave me great pleasure in working with my students, knowing that what they have gone through, and for them as well, because they had been through so much, but yet they were giving all to help build the lives of their villages.
The partnership between ADRA, APTC and other NGOs has built 200 shelter fale for the most vulnerable families in the region. The project is ongoing, and the impact on the well-being of the individuals involved, both the students themselves and the families who benefit from their work, is immeasurable.
One of the students mentioned me. He was weak, but he said in his life, he wasn't a good person. He said their families wasn't happy when he was out of school. But when he was in this program, family appreciated him, and now he's going to be a good person. So that's why he said he's just thankful to the APTC and the Australian government to select them to be part of this program.